A few months ago, I watched what had to be one of the wildest encounters I've ever seen. This is a vigilante predator hunter group that was busting the person they were investigating in public. And this goes completely insano style. It becomes cartoonish. It's almost like a Benny Hill chase scene here. I couldn't believe what was unfolding in front of me.
I am currently looking for my fiber.
Your what?
Fiber.
Fiber?
Yeah, because I gotta poop.
You gotta poop?
I'm constipated. I've been constipated.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This is a very interesting tactic. This is a high-level maneuver. He is claiming that he's not there at the meat spot for a 13-year-old boy. He's there to get some fiber so he can take a shit. He's been constipated, so he's there for some poop pills. And it doesn't take some galaxy brain genius to put together the puzzle pieces here, connect the dots, and deduce that he is on meth. You know, he's getting loopy off that poopy right now. He is high on meth, which isn't just speculation. At the end of the video, they released their entire investigation, screenshots of all the text messages that were exchanged between this guy and who he thought was a 13-year-old, and meth comes up a lot. Even right before meeting, meth was discussed, and as you can see in the title, he was arrested, and they did pretty much confirm meth was in his system.
Hey man, I can involve the police or we can have a conversation. You want to have a conversation?
Sure.
Do you want to turn around and talk to me?
I gotta find this first.
Hey bro, I can call the cops right now, or we can just have a conversation.
I'm actually really constipated, sir. Please, can you actually let me get my supplements so I can actually go home, so I can poop, and actually so I can poop well?
Step 1 should have been involving the authorities the second you found a real pedophile that was trying to meet up for sex with a 13-year-old and, like, get them smoking meth or whatever. I don't understand why that wasn't the first thing you did. Luckily, there's spoilers in the title, so you know he does get arrested, but not for the reasons of this investigation. Some crazy shit happens towards the end. Had he involved law enforcement earlier, even from the start, I feel like this could have been far more effective. It seems like the first thing he did when he identified a real pedophile was try and figure out how to monetize it and make a viral video out of it or something. Because he gets like 2 different cameras out. He's got like the fucking Steadicam. He's got so many cameras set up. He's got like the GTA cinematic angle going on here. So it really feels like the #1 concern was trying to figure out a way to monetize it. He also has like calls to action in the video to subscribe to his channel. He's got the People vs. Pred watermark. This shit is branded out of the wazoo. So it does really feel like the #1 thing he was looking for here was a way of making money off of the bust, which is kind of weird. It is still good that this does lead to an arrest, but I really do wish it was handled with collaboration from the actual authorities.
Can you help me find fiber pills? Can you help me find fiber pills?
Do you want me to call the cops?
Why would you want to call the cops for me when I'm trying to find my fiber pills?
I know why you're here.
Why am I here?
To meet my 13-year-old little brother.
Who is that? I don't know who that is. Who is that? I have no clue.
Christ, where are they hiding the fiber pills in this bitch? Like, goodness gracious, are they underground? This man's out here trying to locate fiber pills, and it's like trying to find pirates' buried treasure, apparently. But anyway, you can see he's really starting to tweak quite a bit now. Things are getting escalated. The man filming is starting to call the cops, which is something I feel he should have done quite a long time ago. But we're only just beginning.
Hey buddy, is this you?
Can you please
Why do I have a picture of you? Is this
Why
you?
are you doing this to me?
Is this you? Is this a picture of you? Why do I have a picture of you?
Huh, what's this? What is it?
Why do I have a picture of you?
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
Why do I have a picture? Why do I have a picture of your ass?
Ew, 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 ew.
This guy's here to meet a 13-year-old boy for and to give him crystal meth.
Oh my god.
Negotiations crumble, diplomacy falls, and then things really pop the fuck off. So he shows him that he has a picture of this guy's asshole, and then we enter like the DPS check of the raid boss encounter here. So now he's chasing the pedophile around while shouting he's here to meet a 13-year-old boy for sex. The predators start shouting. Everyone in the shopping center is confused and maybe even a little frightened from this sudden explosion of yelling and all of that. And we also get close-ups of the meth molester's head, and it seems like he has a lot of dandruff. Not that that has anything to do with anything at all, it just struck me as, wow, that's a lot of dandruff. So he might want to pick up a bottle of Head and Shoulders on his way back to the poopy pill aisle.
This guy right here is here to meet a 13-year-old boy and to give him crystal meth.
Please,
okay,
sir.
what's happening?
I'm trying to find you. Do you know where the fiber pills are?
Call the cops.
Like, sir,
This guy's here to meet a 13-year-old boy for. Don't touch me.
Sir,
don't touch me.
Why? Stop.
Don't touch me and don't put your hands in front of my camera, bro.
Stop.
Who the f are you? Stop.
The cameraman here is really coming across like a combative asshole. Obviously, the store employee doesn't know the situation. He's not fucking omniscient. All he sees is two people screaming in his store while one of them has multiple cameras set up like he's out here trying to film a 360-degree music video. So he's just trying to get in the middle of this and like, hey, can you de-escalate it? You know, take it anywhere else. And for some reason, the Predator Buster is now starting to get mad at this guy who's just doing his fucking job. Like, he's done nothing wrong. He doesn't know what's happening here. He's just trying to de-escalate the situation.
This guy's here to meet a 13-year-old boy for. Get in front of my camera again, bro.
Because you're not.
Get in front of my camera again.
You don't have permission to film your camera here.
Who the f are you?
This is.
Who are you?
You need to leave.
Hey, buddy, get the f out of my way. Get the f out of my way.
You gotta leave my store.
No, I don't. Call the cops.
This guy seems like he was closer to fighting the store employee just doing his job than he was to fighting the actual pedophile that he was there to bust. This shit is crazy.
Why is this happening?
Why are you here to meet a 13-year-old boy?
Why would I do such a thing?
Then leave. Go home.
Can you let me find my fiber pills?
Oh, your fiber pills?
Where's the fiber?
Just when you thought it was starting to wrap itself up, this fucking guy goes back looking for fiber pills. He goes back to the fucking fiber pill aisle and keeps the whole song and dance going. We're in Act 2 now. It is incomprehensible, the shit that is unfolding here. I can't believe that this actually is a real thing that happened and isn't some like staged, scripted fucking piece of, I don't know, fiction. It's unbelievable.
Why are you here to meet a 13-year-old boy?
Why are you here to harass me?
Why are you here to meet a 13-year-old boy?
Are you trying to prevent me? No, I'm gonna stop.
2235. Focus.
I'm a weirdo?
Yeah.
Why do I have a picture of his asshole if I'm a weirdo? Why do I have a picture of his face? Look at it. Why do I have a picture of his face if I'm the weirdo?
Some of the other people around him start calling him a weirdo, the guy filming, to which he takes great offense. So he goes over to prove that he's not weird. So he goes and says, if I'm a weirdo, why do I have a picture of his asshole? Checkmate. Regular old Saul Goodman over here defending himself. I can't be weird, I have a picture of his butthole right here, look at this. He takes his phone around like it's show and tell. He passes it around saying, hey, look, I'm not weird, look, this is his anus. I don't know what the strategy is there. He could have easily explained, I'm conducting an investigation, this guy was trying to meet up with my 13-year-old brother. That's a lot more easy to understand than like, hey, I'm not weird, this is this guy's ass. Like, I don't know what the thought process was. I think he was so lost and deep in fight mode that he was just trying to, like, get aggressive with everybody. Even just completely innocent people that didn't understand what was happening.
Trying to meet up a little kid from the internet?
I saw a comment that perfectly described how this part in the parking lot plays out. They said he's acting like he's the 13-year-old boy running away from a pedophile. And that is so accurate. He's running around, like, hysterically screaming and just going absolutely ballistic. He runs in a circle and then even lays on the ground for a little bit, kind of wiggling around.
Can I just go poop? Ah! Ah!
Oh my God, it gets even better.
The pedophile is high on meth and operating a vehicle, and it goes about as you'd expect. He immediately peels out and fucking blasts himself like right over like a small little tree and some bushes. It really looked like it was about to take flight. That was some shit out of Need for Speed, honestly. Like, god damn.
Oh my god! Whoa, hit and run, call the police! Call the police!
Immediately after vaporizing a tree and destroying that, like, area of bushes, he peels out once again and manages to hit one of only 2 potential obstacles in the entire fucking parking lot. Someone else's car. He goes by and hits someone else's car. There is literally only 2 cars in this entire fucking parking lot. It is actually more impressive that he managed to hit something. Like, I don't even fathom how he could have fucked up even worse. It's unbelievable.
Just call the police, guys. I got the tags. Call the police. Call the police. Call the police. Call the cops, bro. I got the video. You don't need a video. Just call the cops. Tackle his dumb.
I always hate that fucking mentality. Hey, someone else call the police. I'm busy recording. No. I'm recording, so someone else call the police to handle this. There's only a handful of situations where that makes any sense, and that's when there's already a large group there. Then having a video of the situation can be helpful to the overall thing. So you could have one person video while someone else is calling the authorities, but in this case it was just him for the entire thing right up until the very end. He should have been the one to call the police, but didn't. And the predator makes another inexplicable decision. Instead of leaving, he instead pulls up to the front of the store he just ran away screaming from and parks it. He just drops that shit right in front of the store he just left and then gets out to try and run back into the store, which I don't understand at all. He's treating it like this was some kind of safe zone or something. And as he gets out of the car and tries to run back in the store, he gets tackled by a good Samaritan who had just seen the hit and run and everything that unfolded in the parking lot. So he gets tackled by that guy, and it's like a Goldberg spear. That is a great form textbook tackle. And then the cops do show up to arrest him.
Yeah, that's the one thing, sir.
Come on, man.
The cops go through his things. They find a pipe. They find a lot of stuff. They arrest him for the driving, DUI. They don't seem super interested in the predator catcher's investigation and what he's talking about. They don't really pay too much attention to that. Instead, they arrest him for, of course, the way he was driving the vehicle. Now, I've mentioned this numerous times over the years. I'm not really a fan of vigilante predator hunters for the simple reason that 9 times out of 10, the pedophiles that get caught in these operations don't face any real repercussions other than like a video being made about them. But law enforcement can't use the investigations because they're less than professional, meaning the predator doesn't spend any time in the slammer, they don't go to jail, which allows them to continue preying on children in their communities. Now, I do think there are extenuating circumstances, like for example EDP. EDP may have not gone to jail, but that video that was made about him by the, fucking Gotham Knights of Predator Catchers did a great service to the whole community because it exposed him for abusing his platform, trying to meet up with children, and even if he didn't go to jail, it still took away his access to more potential victims. So overall, it was a positive thing, though ideal outcome would have been him also going to jail. In this case, the video we just watched, this predator probably would have never went to jail had he not operated the vehicle while high on meth and caused a massive commotion there and hitting multiple things. Had he not been driving that recklessly and high, he probably would have never seen any jail time for the investigation conducted by this channel. So it's just one of those things where, yes, it is good to expose the predators, but I really wish it was handled in collaboration with law enforcement, so that way not only would they be exposed publicly, they would also face the jail time associated with the crime. But yeah, anyway, this video was wild, and I just kind of wanted to talk about it a little bit today. That's about it. See ya. On the surface, it seems like Batman and I have nothing in common, but nothing could be further from the truth. There is one thing we share, and that is an obsession. Batman is obsessed with justice. I'm obsessed with goofiness. Wherever there is goofiness, I will be there. I'm drawn to it like flies to a porta potty. I can't help myself. If I was one of the founding fathers of the United States of America, the unalienable rights talked about in the Declaration of Independence would have referred to life, liberty, and the pursuit of goofiness. Now, why am I mentioning this? Well, because I have one hell of a story to share with you today that I'm sure all of you are already aware of because it's been memed to death. But I haven't talked about it. And you know what? That just doesn't sit right with me anymore. So let's talk about the massive police scandal that's gone on this week in Tennessee, where 5 officers were fired after it was revealed that it was basically just a fucking porno set at the department. It came out that at least 5 male officers were engaging in sexual relations with a female officer, whom is married, by the way. And they were sending dick pics, taint pics, butthole pics, whatever, all kinds of photos of their genitals, and having sex at the police station on duty, and having girls gone wild type parties. This sounds more like a frat house out of an American Pie movie than it does a department that's supposed to protect and serve the community. The only thing that was being protected was their penises. Maybe. They probably weren't even using condoms. No jimmies. It was probably raw dog. But what they were serving was spaghetti and meatballs. Hold the spaghetti. Just the meatballs. As they were clapping against the cheeks of Officer Megan, whom engaged in many sexual encounters at the department while having a husband. Obviously, that's a pretty horrible thing to do. And it's also very weird that it went on for so long. Just a very weird situation overall. But before I get too deep, there's something else that I think's a little weird. And that's people who don't drink G Fuel. More specifically, they don't drink Divine Peach G Fuel. The most delectable flavor to ever exist. This, I'm pointing in the wrong direction. There we go. But yeah, Divine Peach is the best flavored beverage of all time. It is a fantastic, beautiful energy drink, and there's also a new one right around the corner that you can pre-order now. It's actually a Gundam collab with G Fuel. So they have a new flavor called MS-M31-0N. It's a Gundam style flavor, and it is also very, very good. So use code MOIST for 20% off the collector's box for the new Gundam flavor, or code MOIST for 30% off all G Fuel products. You can also click the link in the description below. Now, back to the topic here. This is a pretty fucked up situation. This is why you've probably been seeing her photo on every single meme or piece of content that refers even lightly to cheating. It's because of this story. There's a lot to unpack here, such as like hot tub parties, which a lot of sex, clearly. But one hotspot was actually at the police department's own gym, where a lot of oral sex seemed to be happening there. So I guess this gym membership came with a happy ending. It sounds like more dick was getting sucked at this gym than at the casting couch. Now, like most people with a soul, when I read this story, my heart broke for the husband in this situation, because not only has he been getting cheated on for such a long time, he got cheated on to such a ridiculous degree that it cost his wife her job, which is obviously a big blow to the household income. But fuckle your seatbelts, because this is where the ride gets a little bumpy and very interesting. After all this news broke and the husband found out, he made a statement saying that he supports his wife and will stand by her as they work through this problem in their marriage. I'm not here to opine on that. Whatever makes you happiest, I suppose, but goddamn, fucking jinkies. Zoinks, Scoob. I'm wishing their marriage the absolute best. I'm sure any day now she will be announcing her OnlyFans, and I'd wager a guess we might see some cameos, guest appearances from the old boys in blue down at the Tennessee police headquarters there that are now also out of a job. But anyway, yeah, just kind of wanted to go over this story a little bit because it doesn't get goofier than that. I've seen a lot of people saying, you know, why should it matter if the department was fucking each other at the headquarters? Sorry, I had to spit because it's such a stupid thing to think. I'll explain it to you. It's because you shouldn't be having sex at work. This doesn't apply to just something like the police department. This applies everywhere. If I found out my local subway workers were mashing pissers in the back, you know, getting the sloppy salami on the clock, I probably would stop going to that subway. I wouldn't really want to go to that spot anymore. It's just not an appropriate place, time or place, to be engaging in coitus. I think that should be pretty obvious. And if you'd still like to fight me on that point, can we at least agree that at the very least it's rude? I think it's just downright rude. Not only the cheating on your husband, that is, I dare say that's a little more than rude, but the fucking while at work, I mean, come on, please, pardon my language, but you've got to be a real jerk, I said it, to be having sexual intercourse while on the clock. That's not okay, you know? I'll say it, all right? And I don't care who heard me say it. So clearly this situation's fucking wild. I'm also just straight up stunned and blown away by how quickly the officers were let go. Usually when there's any kind of scandal or controversy with police officers, they get a paid vacation for like 6 fucking months and then quietly come back. But in this case, since they fucking soiled the sacred ground of the police headquarters with DNA, fucking come all over the place. They had more DNA in the department's gym than they had in their evidence lockers, I imagine, with all the oral sex going on there. I guess that was a line that was too far. So they cut them off quick. No paid vacations here. Though I do think a couple other officers were suspended. So there was a lot here. They cleaned house with this scandal. They've got a lot of vacancies now. I think they have 11 vacancies after all of this. So this became this, like, wild web. Kind of like that SpongeBob episode where he keeps, like, peeling down wallpaper and there's more dirty diapers behind it and it just keeps going. That's what's happened here in this situation, but with sexual relations while at work that they just kept discovering more and more of. But yeah, anyway, just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's about it. So yeah. This is an extremely expensive adventure where you go to this company, they send you down in a submersible to explore and go through the Titanic. I think it's like $250,000 per person per seat or whatever. And they've lost contact with the submersible now. So it's been a scramble to try and like locate it, find them, and get them out. Now, one other thing that I think is important that we go into this with the knowledge of is this CEO sounds like a fucking maniac. Now, I do recognize that he is reportedly on this vessel as it's missing, so there is potential that he's dead. And it sounds like that's almost entirely his fault. I read this about him earlier. So, there were already problems with this submarine, apparently. So, in 2018, there was a lawsuit about it being a potential danger to passengers. So, there were all kinds of red flags here. And the CEO, at some point, I don't know if it's in this article, I haven't read this one. At some point, the CEO said that the safety requirements for the submarine were obscenely strict, complaining that the safety was overbearing. Like he was complaining that things were too safe. So it sounds like he was a corner cutter in order to save a little bottom dollar. Boss of missing Titanic submersible once called his industry obscenely safe. The daredevil inventor is understood to be on board the submersible that lost contact with the surface last week. That is the last person I would want manning my fucking Titanic deep sea adventure. The daredevil inventor. That's such a wild thing to complain about too. The industry being obscenely safe. I can't get over that. But it is a very dire and very serious situation. There is a good chance that they're either dead right now or will be shortly. They can't find them. Last I heard, there are only about 30 hours left on oxygen as of like a couple hours ago. Oh, here we go. Rush said that there have been no injuries in the field for decades, adding, "It's obscenely safe because they all have these regulations, but it also hasn't innovated or grown because they all have these regulations." What the fuck do you mean? Before people complain about it being controlled by a Logitech controller, they almost definitely had backups, and controllers are used for a lot of scientific and military systems such as drones, submarine periscopes because of their ergonomic and intuitive design. The design sucked for many reasons, such as the under-engineered window and lack of escape hatch. That's another thing of prerequisite knowledge here. I saw this all over Twitter, so I had to look this up at least a little bit because so many people were arguing. It was controlled by I think it was a $20 Logitech gamepad, which is apparently industry norm in military equipment and other high-value vessels. That's not uncommon. So that's not a... It's a little goofy to read about, but it's apparently industry standard. Yep, this is from 2 months ago. The US military will fight the next big war with an Xbox-style video game controller. And it's just literally using Xbox controllers. They legitimately use these for very high-tech shit. Why not a PS4 controller? I don't know, brother. You're asking the wrong guy. I also wonder if third-party controllers can give you like a boost if you have like the extra little toggles on the back that used to be illegal in professional Call of Duty. Like little paddle shifters or something. The Xbox controllers have better aim assist. Yeah, I suppose so. While it is bigger than competitors, passengers are required to sit on the floor with limited room to move around. Yeah, that's the scariest part of submarines in general. I think there's almost nowhere more miserable to be in the entire universe than in a fucking submarine. You can't go anywhere. It's very cramped. Much of the interior, the company admits, consists of several pieces of off-the-shelf technology, which it says help to streamline the construction and makes it simple to operate and replace parts in the field. I don't know. To me, that doesn't sound like extremely nice. Like, that wouldn't build confidence for me. I'd like to hear that these parts came directly from, like, the finest forges in Mordor or something. Like, something really strong-sounding as opposed to off-the-shelf. Mr. Rush, speaking to CBS News last year, said piloting the sub shouldn't take a lot of skill. Why? I feel like it absolutely should. There's people's lives at stake there. Like 10,000 leagues under the sea. You should have a very skilled pilot behind the controller of that puppy. Give me a goddamn esports pro or something. Don't just give me anybody. Oh man, God, this is fucking terrifying. OceanGate says it's an experimental vessel and told CBS Travel on board correspondent he had to sign a waiver to accept. It has not been approved or certified by any regulatory body and could result in physical injury, disability, emotional trauma, or death. I understand waivers are pretty standard, but the regulatory body thing is actually surprising to me that anyone can build, or any company rather, can build a sub and just take people under the sea without any level of like safety inspection. That's a little surprising. Oh, yikes. Okay. The company explained why the Titan had not been classed by an independent body. Bringing an outside entity up to speed on every innovation before it is put into real-world testing is an anathema to rapid innovation. This guy fucking hates inspectors and safety. Why? Oh my god. Yeah, we don't get it inspected or approved by any kind of, knowledgeable people. I said it's good enough, so that's probably enough. Crews searching for the Titan submersible heard banging sounds every 30 minutes, and for 4 hours later, after additional sonar devices were deployed, banging was still heard according to an internal U.S. government memo. It was unclear what the banging was. I mean, it sounds like they're alive. Like, I don't think that banging is Davy Jones or anything. Like, I mean, it sounds like they're probably still alive. Yeah, but if they're freaking out, they're going to be using a lot more oxygen. These are, from what I understand, these are like just rich people, not fucking hardened super soldiers. Of course they're going to be freaking out in the face of death on a submarine at the bottom of the fucking ocean. So I think they're already working under the assumption that they're consuming more oxygen than normal. No, it's just too deep for that. Yeah, like I said, I'm not like a fucking nautical engineer, but I feel like, aren't most of these things like tethered to the ships? Like, I know when you do, what's that deep sea tour? Another rich people thing? I can't remember the name of it. But they have like a giant rope that tethers it to that ship. But I guess maybe it doesn't go as deep. It's just not possible at 13,000 feet. Okay, fair enough. How OceanGate built improvised submersible from camping kit and video game controller. Again, the video game controller is kind of industry standard, but what do they mean built from a camping kit?
The minivan.
So this is not your grandfather's submersible. We only have one button, that's it. It should be like an elevator. You know, it shouldn't take a lot of skill.
The Titan.
What the fuck? Those pictures don't do it justice. Oh my god, this looks miserable. Holy shit. And just a single button on board like an elevator. That does not inspire confidence. I want this shit to look like the Starship Enterprise, with 1,000 different ways of controlling it. $250,000 in your crisscross applesauce in like a car trunk. Yeah, there's like a small, like, bathroom area. I read it in the article. So there is like a small place to relieve yourself, but he recommends that you change your diet to reduce the chance of of you needing to use it. Look at that. What? What? How? I can't believe anyone would go on this. $250,000, I show up and I see this, I'm just leaving. And I'm asking for my money back ASAP. Holy shit. Actual, yeah, like actual just tape and Sharpie here.
These off-the-shelf components.
I got these from Camper World. We run the whole thing with this game controller.
Come on!
Oh, he's even got nipples on it. What does this even really help with? Why would you even bother putting the nipples on it?
As we'll show you a little later on Sunday morning.
Where things have to be.
I feel like that window at that depth is just an absolute recipe for disaster.
Archaeologist Rob Mather
Again, I'm not an expert. Let me see it here at the bottom.
Look at that, though, how it just kind of emerges out. Yeah.
That thing is like fucking pathetic to look at. I'll just say it. Like, oh my god. Actually, tape and Sharpie, Camping World supplies. Oh my god. The porthole window is rated for 1,300 meters, and they dove to 4,000 meters. Well, you know. Simple miscalculation. Okay. Sunday night, it lost contact with a support ship. About an hour and 45 after submerging. Jesus, so like almost instantly. Because it's like an 8-hour journey. So that happening at an hour 45 is pretty much right off rip. It went tits up immediately. Jim Bellingham, a Johns Hopkins University expert on deep sea operations, told USA Today there's 3 possible locations for the submersible. One possibility is that it could be floating on the ocean's surface after an electrical failure or some other mishap. Another is that it's drifting in the water column anywhere between the surface and the bottom because it became buoyantly neutral. Or it could be on the sea floor, perhaps tangled with something that won't let it float to the top. The first one is by far the best position, Bellingham said, because even though it would be difficult to spot the 21-foot-long Titan amidst the waves, the Coast Guard is just awesome at this. They have amazing capability to see something pretty small in the ocean. Yeah, I think he's probably right on the money. The best case scenario is that they are floating somewhere out in the surface. Anything else is a little rough. God, that's so fucking terrifying, because if it is actually on the seabed, like, how are they supposed to save it? Like, how are you supposed to rescue them? Like, let's say, so the update from CNN 9 minutes ago was that they heard banging, which I think sounds like good news. It leads me to believe that they might still be alive. So they were hearing, like, banging on the equipment. How are you supposed to save them if they're on the seafloor? 13, like, are you supposed to send another Titan vessel down there? Like, you're gonna, like, put one together with more Camping World equipment? Like, how are you supposed to save them? So even if you do locate them, you can do nothing to really help. A magnet like Breaking Bad. Oh my god, sign this man up to NASA. What if you get a huge magnet and you just start putting it over the ocean and see if it starts bringing him to the top? This man's thinking with galaxy brain. Project Azorian was a U.S. Central Intelligence Agency project to recover a Soviet submarine, a K-129, from the Pacific Ocean floor, using a purpose-built Hughes Glomar Explorer. This just sounds fucking awesome. What? The ship recovered a portion of the K-129, but a mechanical failure in the grapple caused 2/3 of the recovered section to break off during recovery. So it basically worked up until it didn't. Very interesting. So this was fundamentally like a giant crane that would be precisely lowered and lifting it up. So, realistically, if we still had the Hughes Glomar Explorer here with this equipment, they could just call that bitch up right now and actually stand a chance if they could locate them. James Cameron about to come out of retirement to rescue him. I mean, legitimately, do they have that? James Cameron has, what, the 2nd deepest manned mission in the sea, I think? Yep. Pretty scary situation. Here's hoping they somehow get saved. That would be a fucking miracle. There's a marketing trend that's existed for far too long now. It's been years, and it's more cringe than when all companies tried to use Gangnam Style to promote their brand. It's this fixation on diluting all logos to just be bold text with the company name, just this minimalist garbage where it removes all fun and whimsy and personality and completely erases all creativity of logos and just reduces them to the company name on a very bland color. It's like the most sterile shit ever. It's not interesting. I think it super sucks, but this has been the norm for corpo dog shit for a while. I still think the most infamous example is when Staples made an entire E3 press conference to unveil their new logo, where they removed the iconic Staples logo to make this, and then they had like paid shills in the audience going, "Yeah! Wee!" all over like this Staples logo unveiling, which again, nobody cares about. It's a worse logo. All you've done is just make a worse logo. And now Cracker Barrel has finally followed suit where they redesigned their logo, and man did it hit them hard where it hurts the most. Right in their fucking precious nutsack of money. Pretty much overnight, they lost roughly $100 million in value. Their stock took a nosedive into the shitter here. And of course, plenty of people make the argument, it's just a logo, this is so overblown and unnecessary, it's not that big of a deal. And I guess I can kind of understand that, but I also understand why so many people are fed up with the enshittification of things. Like, everything seems to like be going in this direction where it gets boiled down to like the same generic sludge, where everything has to be the most bland, samey poop ass. Like, it's just so unnecessary. Like, changing that logo and making it simpler does nothing for Cracker Barrel or for anybody. It's just a waste of time and resources. And there is more to it. It's not just the logo. They are like redoing the menu. They're redoing the restaurants as well. The idea is they want to make it the Cracker Barrel of today and tomorrow is the verbiage that the CEO used. She actually went and did an interview with Good Morning America where she affirms that Cracker Barrel is really happy with how everything's going and that the response has actually been overwhelmingly positive. I don't know if they're just filter feeding her like 5 like tweets on Twitter that are like, actually this is good. And they're like, yes, we're going in the right direction. But they don't seem at all shocked or rocked or even slightly perturbed that their stock has just nosedived after unveiling the new logo and the plans to like redesign and redo certain elements of Cracker Barrel.
Well, remember, the heart and soul of Cracker Barrel is going to stay the same. And so today we're actually launching a new campaign called All the More, which really highlights how people feel about Cracker Barrel. It's bigger than just a meal. We've got a retail shop. You're going to get great country hospitality with our scratch-made food in our restaurants. And that's really what this campaign celebrates. So we've enlisted a little bit of help from a guy named Jordan Davis. Maybe you've heard of him. He's got a new single and album out, and he's in our ad and is the voice of it as well. And it really, again, just highlights those things that make Cracker Barrel Cracker Barrel.
I know everyone's all excited about Hollow Knight Silksong around the corner, but I tell you what, I am chomping at the bit to get a piece of that Cracker Barrel ad campaign with Jordan Davis being the hired spokesperson for it. I can't wait. That's exciting. Yippee. Thanks so much for sharing. Basically, this whole interview is her just trying to reassure people that the Cracker Barrel they love is going nowhere, even though they are redoing the inside of the restaurant, even though they are changing the menu and redoing some of the dishes, even though they are changing the logo, and even though they have redesigned their philosophy to be more about the Cracker Barrel of today and tomorrow as opposed to the Cracker Barrel of the past. But other than that, like, everything's exactly the same.
Is the food changing?
The food, well, here's what I'll say about that. Innovation has proven to be really great at Cracker Barrel. People are loving our new menu items. We're reinvigorating our dinner menu.
And a lot of restaurants are leaning and going back to nostalgia, things that the customers are really comfortable with.
We never left it.
Yeah, you never left it, but you're changing up. You're kind of going a different direction. Why is that your strategy?
Yeah, because the Cracker Barrel needs to feel like the Cracker Barrel for today and for tomorrow. And again, the things that you love are still there. We need people to choose us, and we want people to choose us because people love this brand.
People love this brand, which is why we're changing it. It's just, I don't know, it feels really contradictory because, like, this is all about her saying, like, no, everything that makes Cracker Barrel is going to stay the same, you know? We never left nostalgia. Except we are leaving nostalgia. We're modernizing. Like, her whole spiel here, like the entire pitch, is about why the modernization of Cracker Barrel is a good thing and it's the right direction to go for the company. The changing of the menu, the new food, bringing back like some old food. She mentioned like a meal is coming back, or I don't recognize the meal by name. I've only been to Cracker Barrel like maybe 10 times in my life, actually all of which have been a pretty decent dining experience. I've never actually had like a really bad time at Cracker Barrel. It is kind of cute as like this old-timey experience. But what she's insisting is like that experience will still be there, but modernized. But that clashes. I don't know how you could modernize an old school, like old style experience. Like that would clash by its very nature, I would think. Like if you're improving the food, great. I never had any big complaints about the food at Cracker Barrel, but if you want to introduce more high quality cuisine options and just upgrade it, that's fine by me. Let it rip. I just don't know why that also means you have to redesign like the entire like brand identity and whatever. To me, it reminds me of what video games have also been doing for a while now, which I fucking hate, and I'm always the first to spit on this, where a new entry into a franchise will have the same name as another entry in the franchise, and it grinds my ass so hard. Like Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, that's actually 6 games I just named right there, because there's 2 of each, and they are so different. So Call of Duty Modern Warfare is different from Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 is different from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is different from Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Like, you see the problem? Like, I hate that shit. I hate that shit. I'm going off on a different tangent. Stop me now. Stop me now before I start getting out of control with the ranting. Point is, Cracker Barrel feels to me like it's doing that same thing, where it's taking Cracker Barrel and introducing Cracker Barrel 2025 on it, which is different. But she's insisting that it's the same, so what's the point in trying to present it as different? Like, just go ahead and make a marketing push that's like, hey, we upgraded our food, we changed these things around, we added new things to the gift shop, some more modern items, we repainted things inside to brighten it up, that kind of thing, whatever. Another thing she mentioned is they're changing the chairs to make more comfortable chairs. Big thumbs up for me. I actually hated the chairs at Cracker Barrel sometimes. My ass is a little bony, so sitting on those chairs is a little uncomfortable for an extended period of time. So changing the chairs there, great idea. Does that also mean that it needs to come with like this whole push of like, Cracker Barrel's new? We've changed the logo and everything. I don't think so, but that's the trend of business these days, where even like the slightest change, you need to introduce the sequel. Like Overwatch. Overwatch 2. We've done almost nothing, and we're calling it Overwatch 2. This is the sequel. It shit sucks. It's just super useless. Like, that's kind of like the DNA that I feel from this Cracker Barrel logo change and like this whole push about like the refreshing of Cracker Barrel. I think ultimately it probably won't change that much, but they have changed the logo. So immediately people will recognize it as something different, even if she's insisting it's going to be the same experience. And I think the logo is worse. It follows another trend I hate of these really boring minimalist logos. I think there's nothing fun or creative about it. It sucks a lot of life out of a brand. It just seems like a huge waste of resources to take a logo that everyone can immediately identify and take everything out of it to just be the name, and then try and present like, Cracker Barrel 2 is here. This is the refresh. But also, it's like the exact same experience that you've always remembered. Don't worry, everything you love about Cracker Barrel is still there. Okay, well then why did you redo the logo, and why are you calling it this huge refresh? It just, I don't know. It feels super sloppy to me. I'm not surprised to see people aren't really responding well to it. It's worthless.
What if all the customers are coming at you hard enough about the look of the restaurant and they want to go back to the old way? Would you do it?
Honestly, the feedback's been overwhelmingly positive that people like what we're doing. I'll give you another soundbite. I actually happened to be in Orlando last week with all of our managers. We bring them together and every other year. And the number one question that I got asked, Michael, was, how can I get a remodel? When can I get a remodel? How do I get on the list?
Oh, really?
So because the feedback and the buzz is so good, not only from our customers, but from our team members. They want to work in a wonderful restaurant. So
sure, that's all fine and dandy, but it is not really representative of everyone's perception of this redesign and this refresh. Like, you can anecdotally talk about the managers in Orlando shaking you like, when can we get a remodel? And use that as an indicator that you're going in the right direction, but that doesn't tell the whole story. Like, I feel like, and of course I'm not in the board meetings here, but I feel like you could point to the stock price correlating with when the logo design dropped, and then also couple with all of the feedback you can publicly see from everyone, including your loyal customers, and probably make the assumption that maybe there's more people unsatisfied with this than we're thinking. Like, they're currently writing it off as a vocal minority, but I feel like it's probably a pretty large group of people that isn't really excited about this. Of course, plenty of people that are upset about it are people that never eat at Cracker Barrel and probably never would have stepped foot in one in the first place. But there also are definitely some customers that probably are a bit turned off here because it's following the trend of every other business that is diluting everything that they've built into just being like generic slop looking. Even if that's not the case here with Cracker Barrel, people have already seen this song and dance from plenty of other businesses over the years that a lot of people are just tired of it in general. Now, what I will say is I don't think this will last long. Not like the logo and everything and the refresh. I'm sure they will fully commit to that, and that will probably be the norm from this point going forward for Cracker Barrel for a long time. What I don't think is going to last a while, what I think is ephemeral, is people avoiding Cracker Barrel and the stock plummeting. I think this will follow the trend of most shit where once it stops being flavor of the month, people will just go back to business as usual and they'll eat at Cracker Barrel when convenient or with their grandparents or something. Like, they're not going to be canceling trips to Cracker Barrel a week from now. So I'm sure it'll probably rebound to some extent or even completely. Maybe it ends up being successful for them. I don't know. I just don't think it's going to stay like this from this point going forward. But I guess I could be wrong about that. Maybe people are just like, you know what, fuck Cracker Barrel for this, and they're done with it. That's possible. I just find it unlikely because that almost never happens. For any business, really. Anyway, though, just wanted to yap about this. That's about it. See ya. Last night, everyone's worst nightmares came true. The holiest of events was ruined live in front of tens of millions of viewers who all watched in horror. The Game Awards got trolled. All of us had to sit there, covering our eyes, cowering, trying to escape the pain from the epic super-style swag prank that was just executed. It was like watching a beheading video. It was painful. Traumatic, even. It reminds me of that Janet Jackson nip slip during the Super Bowl in 2004, except this time I'm an adult and I'm not aroused. To desecrate the Game Awards is to, like, deface and vandalize the Mona Lisa. Have you no respect, have you no shame at all? I'm sure all of you have seen this by now. I got to witness this live and it was something pretty baffling. I'll go ahead and give a little context to what this is all about. The Game Awards is an annual show that's hosted by Jeff Keighley, and it celebrates the best games that came out that year and gives out awards, premieres, trailers for upcoming projects, and it's something that just a lot of gamers look forward to and have a good time watching. And last night, the prestigious Game of the Year award was given out to Elden Ring, which I'll give my quick take on. I fucking love Elden Ring. I think it is an absolute masterpiece, like a genuine triumph in the medium. It's the culmination of everything From Software has learned through the last 10 years of Souls games, all combined into one beautiful package. So I was pretty hyped to see it win. I love God of War Ragnarok, but I really was rooting for Elden Ring. The creators went up on stage, gave their acceptance speech, and at the end of it, a kid gave a speech of his own, and it was peculiar. Let's fucking go. Congrats. Yep. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Hey, Matan. You know, real quick, I want to thank everybody and say that I think I want to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi, Bill Clinton. Thank you, everybody.
What the fuck was that?
I don't know what that was. Was that like a... I don't... Was that like some kind of...
Did no one know that he was on the stage?
I thought he was like part of the production team.
Special night, and I can't believe
I don't know what the fuck that was.
2023 marks the 10th annual Game Awards, so we are lucky.
Pretty weird moment. This was like the gamers' equivalent to the Will Smith slap at the Academy Awards, except this time it was the spectators being slapped by cringe. But memorable cringe. This was all off the dome, completely off script, no teleprompter. In case you didn't really hear what he said, I'll say it again. He said, "I'd like to nominate this award to my Reformed Orthodox Rabbi Bill Clinton." It's just like an XD random statement, I think. I'm not really sure. But he was then escorted off the stage and, according to Jeff Keighley, even arrested after the show. Now, I don't know if he actually spent time in prison, like went to county jail, like behind bars in the slammer, but if he did, he's been released since, because he's a 15-year-old kid that did this. He's been interviewed, and it seems like the motivation was a prank. Now, I'd like to show you what all went into this mastermind's scheme here, and how difficult it was to plan and execute this prank. So here's the Elden Ring team going around giving high fives on their way to the stage, and then there's the kid, coming in there like it's a secret boss encounter. Just walks down the aisle, no questions asked. He doesn't even go up at the same time as the team. He just comes from a different aisle. Then he just greets them on the way up, pats them on the back, and then stands behind them, waiting for his opportunity to strike. At least the kid let them finish their speech before he went up there to upstage them and try and steal the show. But goddamn, you have to wonder, what the fuck was security doing here? Was there even security on the premises? Like, what, were they asleep? What happened? You know, like, that's what a lot of people are focusing on now. Obviously, this event has steered the conversation away from the actual award winners and has instead put it on this in particular, because it's such a silly thing. The kid was standing behind them for so long. I just feel like as a security team, you would know who's supposed to be where, so when there's something that looks a little out of whack, you'd probably take measures to confirm whether or not that's accurate. I just assumed that kid was part of staff that was on stage to make sure everything was going off without a hiccup or something. But I clearly was wrong. So just a bit of a mistake here from the security team, because this could have been a lot worse. Like, if he didn't just go up there with the intention of saying goofy shit, like if he went up there with the intention of like stealing the award or hurting people, no one was stopping him, which is a pretty scary thought, and hopefully next time they'll take security a little more seriously. But I think another important thing to highlight from this is, with that nomination, Bill Clinton has now won more game awards than Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Now, I'll quickly address a pretty dumb take that keeps floating around from people that believe they're intellectually enlightened. Nothing's real, it's all fake, and they know it. They can see right through the scam. This was all a marketing scheme. This was all just a marketing stunt to get more eyes on the Game Awards. And let's dissect that for a moment, because that's not exactly the galaxy brain conspiracy theory you think it is. This would be the worst marketing stunt for the Game Awards, because it highlights a severe lack of security and makes it look irresponsible and put together poorly. By allowing a 15-year-old to casually waltz up on stage, rub the shoulders of the Elden Ring team and stand behind them, stand next to Jeff Keighley and have nobody intervene, like, that's a problem. Like, that could have just been straight up dangerous. Again, it's lucky this wasn't some, like, unhinged lunatic up there with the intention to do harm. This highlights a problem of, like, potential safety issues. Like, that could scare sponsors away. It could scare guests away. Like, this would be a terrible marketing stunt by the Game Awards. It just makes them look bad. This would be the worst idea. Like, that's just a stupid take. This was clearly a random kid who spawned in there like an NPC and then walked down the aisle to do this prank. And the security was lax enough that it actually unfolded the exact way he wanted it to. I just don't think that theory makes any sense at all when you really think about it for more than just 2 seconds. I know everyone loves to be the person who saw through the lie, like, no, I knew it was fake the whole time. But in this case, I think it's as simple as it gets. It was a kid who wanted to make a big prank for attention, and that's all it was. Now, it's been almost 24 hours since this happened, and there's still been no word from Bill Clinton, which I'm a little disappointed by. The man just got nominated for a Game Award, and he can't at least hop on Twitter and say something about it. Now, I do believe it's possible that Bill Clinton is being advised not to speak about this situation because it's rather turbulent, but I have no doubt that he's honored to be nominated for that Game of the Year award, and I'm sure he wants to say thank you, but he's being told to put the brakes on it. I expect in a week's time we'll have a statement from Bill Clinton, and I eagerly await his words to see what he has to say about it. You know, I've always said Bill Clinton probably is a primetime gamer. You know, he probably tears up the battlefield in Fortnite. You know, he's out there hitting the gritty while playing as Spider-Man. You know, that's the kind of man that Bill Clinton strikes me as. So he was probably watching the Game Awards, same as the rest of us, and was just giddy with excitement when he received this out-of-left-field nomination. But yeah, anyway, I just really wanted to talk about this because this is one of those rare situations where I actually got to see this kind of thing live. I don't think I've ever had the privilege of watching one of these weird, wacky live TV moments actually happen live. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, that's about it. See ya. Roblox is a platform that needs no introduction, yet every time I talk about it, I feel compelled to remind people that this is like one of the most profitable things on the planet. This game has become more popular than oxygen, but I'm sure all of you already know that. There's not a soul on this planet that hasn't at least heard the name Roblox. You could live underground just feeding off dirt, and somehow I'm sure the name Roblox made it down to the subterranean culture. Like, it is actually that big. But for some parents that stay in the know about the happenings on the online space, Roblox is a name that might send some shivers down your spine, because there is a big problem in the community that has existed for a while, one that the Roblox headquarters plugs its ears to and even actively tries to bury or dissuade people from trying to solve the problem themselves. That problem being predators. There have been innumerable cases of Roblox predators preying on children through the platform. It's led to so many national headlines about this issue, and it's gotten so bad that there are YouTubers and like vigilante groups on the game that have taken matters into their own hands to try and catch and get these predators arrested so they can make the platform safer for children. Roblox themselves don't do enough to keep the platform safe, so the community has taken it upon themselves to do it themselves. Like, Roblox always claims that they're working on it, but they're really not. They're doing the equivalent of going to the gym and hitting 2 sets of dilly-dally and calling it a day. They don't actually do much for this.
Has sent a cease and desist letter to me, a 22-year-old, versus a multi-billion-dollar company, threats of litigation, because I catch predators on their platform. Within the last year, me and my team have gotten 6 predators arrested within the Roblox community. Almost all of them have admitted to doing this before to other Roblox users.
This is a YouTuber named Schlep who has been working to get predators arrested that are preying on children through the Roblox platform. And Roblox has now permanently banned him, like IP ban, banished all of his accounts to the Shadow Realm, and he is facing potential legal problems for this. It's pretty odd considering Roblox willingly turns a blind eye to the pedophile plague on their platform, but will laser focus, dial in, and fucking call in like the asteroid that wiped out the dinosaurs in order to try and wipe out people like Schlep that try and stop the predators themselves. So instead of stopping the predators, Roblox stops the people stopping the predators. It's really backwards, if you ask me. That shit doesn't make any sense. Like, just let that marinate in your head for a moment. Like, I understand vigilante groups can sometimes be a problem, but when you as the company are doing nothing to actually stop it yourself, what other options are there? The community has to take matters into their own hands and start policing themselves to try and keep the platform safe, since Roblox is really dropping the ball on it. Like, for some reason, they don't even get out of bed when they hear about a pedophile on the platform, but if they hear about a YouTuber doing something to stop that, shit, they fire up like Dracula. They sit up like The Undertaker and they get to business. They go to work. So, this is not the first time this has happened. They have come after people like Schlep before, the people that are actively trying to make the platform safer, and it just doesn't make any sense. The CEO seems to be too busy trying to pitch Roblox as a dating platform in addition to being for gaming. I already made a video talking about the lunacy of this idea, but it is like chumming the waters for sharks. The sharks in this case being pedophiles. Anyone who knows anything about Roblox and has a functioning frontal lobe should tell you what a recipe for disaster this is, to turn a platform that mainly targets children into also having a dating site component to it. That he wants to be 17 plus, which is a weird number to choose for that, by the way. But the CEO, Dave fucking Hakalugi Bazooki, really is fixated on trying to make this a reality of turning Roblox into a dating site in addition to its gaming. But they can't even protect children from pedophiles now. Imagine when they try and implement this to it.
Hilarious. Roblox is actively claiming that I'm hurting their players. Roblox is claiming that I'm engaging in simulated child endangerment conversations. What? So one of the fundamental bases of predator catching is that you cannot talk sexually to predators. Predators are supposed to be the ones talking sexually to you. If you talk sexually to predators, like straight off the get-go, that's entrapment. That is literally what entrapment is. We almost always play a naive kid who doesn't know anything about this stuff, so they teach us about this stuff. If you watch these videos, you know how the chats are going, and they're not even on Roblox. Most of the chat logs are on Discord, and they're accusing me of getting people off of platform onto different social media sites.
Let's take a peek at this real quick. While Roblox acknowledges that your stated intentions may be to protect children, and while it recognizes the serious nature of online predatory behavior, your methods, including failing to immediately report suspicious activity to Roblox through proper channels, are actively interfering with Roblox's established safety protocols and critically are exposing Roblox's users to increased risk. If that isn't the fattest load of barnacles you've ever tried to swallow, I don't know what is. The big thing with everyone that is actively trying to keep the platform safer, like people like Schlep trying to catch predators, they report them immediately. That is the #1 thing they do. The problem is, and you can look this up there yourself, there are so many articles that detail how nonchalant Roblox is when it comes to these reports. The problem is, Roblox doesn't act on it. So as far as I know, in all of these predator catching groups, the first thing they do is report it through the proper channels on Roblox, but the issue is that report just makes it directly to the shitter at Roblox HQ for them to flush it. I don't know where it goes, but I guess it just goes somewhere to collect dust at Roblox. It falls into the goddamn back rooms. So they never actually act on any of the reports. So the proper channels are fucking useless. It's baffling. And in a lot of cases, Schlepp's about to give you an example, even when a predator is arrested, like a Roblox predator is arrested, they don't even ban that account that is associated with them a lot of times. It's craziness. To say like he's not doing this the right way because he's not reporting it through Roblox is just incorrect, and also laughable for them to claim that by not doing that, he's putting users at more risk. How does that make any sense? How is him trying to catch these predators somehow putting children in harm's way? Like, more so than Roblox doing nothing except sitting on these reports forever, maybe using them as like scribbling paper at the office, like a coloring book? Like, how is what he's doing, actively trying at least, to stop predators, putting users more at risk? The next barrage of mumbo-jumbo from Roblox is equally baffling, saying that he's engaging in simulated child endangerment. Well, I guess kind of, because there are predators on your platform that are talking sexually to him and his group that are pretending to be kids. And according to Schlepp, they're not initiating those inappropriate conversations. The predators are just there. The call's coming from inside the house on Roblox. He is not going out of his way to create pedophiles to catch. They are there. So the conversations do happen because the predators are there having them. And you have to imagine that in most cases, they're not having them with a vigilante group trying to catch them. They're having them with real children that are in real danger from these pedophiles that are running rampant on the platform. Now, the next thing they talk about, moving them to a new platform? What the fuck? As Schlepp mentions, a lot of the conversations do end up off the Roblox service on things like Discord. And apparently that's an issue with Roblox too, that they've taken users from Roblox and brought them to Discord. It's almost like they were upset that they lost a user there to somewhere else. Like, no, bring them back. You're not allowed to. You're trying to poach our community. We're gonna lose pedophiles if you keep catching them, and we need that to pump up our numbers. Are you kidding me? No, that's a big problem.
I guess that's worth a cease and desist and an IP ban of every single account that I own. That's just crazy. I can't even believe, I can't even fathom that. They also say sharing or soliciting personally identifiable information. I have no idea what they're referring to this. I would love to know what they're talking about. Are they referring to the fact that I give the information of the predators that we find to the police? Like, the people we're talking to are predators.
Another weird one here from the slimy suits at Roblox Corp. What do you mean personally identifiable information? It almost sounds like they care more about the privacy of the predators than the act of actually stopping them. It's like, whoa, you just shared some of our users' data without our permission. Are you kidding me? You're fucking doxing a pedophile on our platform? Nope, 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 nope. That is not permissible. We do not support that at all. Like, what the fuck? Like, it'd be entirely unnecessary if you would just do your job and give that personal information to the authorities so that way the predators could get arrested, but you're not doing it. So people like Schlepp have to. Like,
Most insulting thing is that they told me I'm not reporting people quick enough and I'm not reporting them through the right outlets. Tell me the right outlets. I have been trying to figure this out for like a year now. This here is Nepali Incel. This person actually made credible threats to the Las Vegas sphere in a Roblox game, and I saw this with my own 2 eyes, and the reason why it's a credible threat, it is because the FBI went ahead and arrested someone for making threats within that same game. I made a moderation ticket about it, and I even actually made a report to the FBI about this. Where is the cease and desist letter for him? Where is the IP ban for him? Are you gonna ban all of this dude's accounts?
Roblox uses the proper channels as like kind of this shield, but it's really a myth. It doesn't seem to actually exist because nobody knows the proper channels. They're doing all of like the reporting that they can to Roblox through everything they think is the proper channels. But Roblox, I guess, isn't very clear with what they are because they keep saying, nope, still not using the right channels. Well, what the fuck are they? Nobody seems to know how to access the proper channels. It's like a fucking Call of Duty Zombies Easter egg. How do you get there? Why don't you explain it then? Why don't you make it more clear? Because as of now, everyone is reporting it through what they believe is the right channels, the ones that are readily available and accessible to people to report through, but those, I guess, aren't the right ones. So where the fuck are they and how can they access them? It's ridiculous. It is absolutely absurd. And then he makes a mention here of how, like, this one guy who did get arrested for credible terrorist threats still has his account active on Roblox. And there are predators that have been arrested and are currently in jail that still have their accounts active on Roblox. Like, they do not act on this shit, but they will act immediately if they catch a whiff of somebody trying to take matters into their own hands to stop it themselves to make the platform safer. They're instantaneously right there at their door ready to slap them with some legal paperwork here. It's just craziness.
This is literally how it goes. We go to roblox.com/support, submit a moderation ticket, and then fill out the prompt with all the information regarding our arrest and give you guys the same Google Drive that we give to the cops. And in a lot of instances, Roblox won't even ban after we reach out to them regarding felony arrests. What I typically have to do is report cases to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or go on the news to show gameplay of our decoys with the predators on Roblox. I've literally felt so lost at trying to get the attention of Roblox regarding these predators. I've created binders with all the chat logs, and I've sent it to their headquarters in San Mateo, California. This is the first time Roblox has ever directly reached me out. Instead of trying to say, hey, we want to work with you, or literally giving me a line to report these people, or simply saying, don't make these videos anymore, we're gonna ban you, Roblox just terminated every account I own and sent me this cease and desist.
I feel like it's pretty clear in this case, Schlepp has literally done everything he can to try and let Roblox be the one to get these predators off the platform, putting the ball in their court, hoping that they will do the right thing and act on this information, at the very least investigate it, but they're not, which is why there are groups that are doing it themselves. That's the issue. He has literally exhausted every possible avenue and I guess still hasn't found the proper channel, even though he even sent like physical evidence to their actual brick and mortar location and still got nothing. Like, it's very clear that there is no real proper channels, but they really don't like people trying to stop the predator problem themselves. But Roblox also doesn't want to do it either. So, I mean, what options are left? Just let that continue, let that fester, let Roblox be a platform where children are just completely unsafe? I don't think that's exactly a bright future. This is a platform that does desperately need to be cleaned up. It is a huge problem there, and Roblox isn't doing it. Schlepp then tells a very personal experience he had on Roblox when he was a kid, and how he was also a victim of these type of evil people. And when his mother reached out to Roblox to report all of that and give the evidence about everything that had happened to her son, Roblox didn't act on it, and that individual still wasn't banned until years later. There is a problem, and Roblox isn't solving it, so the community is doing what they can to try and keep it safer. But Roblox is attacking the community that is actively trying to do that for them. I think it's bullshit. I think that is fucking baloney right there, and Roblox needs a real change in leadership in how they approach this shit. Maybe Dave Baszucki, instead of focusing on bringing dating to a children's game, should focus on trying to keep the children on that game safe. Maybe that should be the priority, I would think. But anyway, I wanted to talk about this a little bit. I'm wishing Schlepp the best. I'm hoping Roblox will reverse their decision here. Schlepp also works with Gideon in catching some of these predators, and they are doing significantly more to keep the community safe than Roblox appears to be doing. So hats off to them for the good work. And yeah, I wanted to talk about it a little bit. That's it. See ya. I know it's become very trendy to make fun of Katy Perry recently, especially after that cosmic voyage she went on like a week or two ago where they shot her up in a rocket ship and she spent a handful of minutes in space. I spend longer in space when I take NyQuil. And then she had the very cringe moment where she tried to be like really emotional about it, so when the rocket came back to Earth, she got out and kissed the ground, ate a little dirt as if she had been gone for years, like she was fucking Matt Damon stranded on Mars in the movie The Martian. All in all, it hasn't been a great couple of months for the Katy Perry brand image, but at the very least, she can almost call herself an astronaut. In the same way I can almost call myself 6 feet tall, even though I'm actually 5'6". But anyway, I'm not here to just harp on all of these things. Instead, I'd like to talk about a segment from her most recent concert that I got sent, and I am just blown away by. I want to be clear here so there's no confusion. I'm not even a Katy Perry hater, really. And I'm not even cosplaying as one either. I just think she's done some very silly things recently that obviously make it difficult to fight the urge to shoot a couple of spitballs. It is what it is. But, like, I don't even really dislike her or her music. A lot of the songs she's made in the past I still like to this day. I still think some of them are kind of bangers. Of course, gun to my head and I'm asked to name a single one of her new songs of the last decade, I'm getting my brains blown the fuck out. I don't know any of her new work, couldn't tell ya, but I still like some of her classics. With that out of the way, I've got to show you this little piece from the concert. I'm gonna have to mute the audio because it's a Katy Perry song. So instead, I'll be doing my own a cappella cover of it while showcasing the choreography and the performance. They say, be afraid, you're not like the others, futuristic lover, different DNA, they don't understand you, you're from a whole nother world, a different dimension, you open my eyes, and I'm ready to go, lead me into the light. Kiss me, kiss me, infect me with your love and fill me with your poison. Take me, take me, wanna be your victim, ready for abduction. Boy, you're an alien, your touch so foreign, it's supernatural, extraterrestrial. I'm ashamed to admit it, but this cover took me far longer than any sane man would ever pour into something so trivial. But I'm happy with how it came out, and that's all that matters. So anyway, this was Katy Perry at a performance last night in Mexico for her song E.T. There's a lot to unpack here. I cannot believe that this got the green light for the big stage. Her tickets are expensive. I was looking at the prices to attend one of her shows. They are not cheap. And if I went there and saw this, I would be the happiest camper on the planet. This is like the moonfall of concerts here. This shit is incredible. It looks like how I used to play with my friends when I was 8 years old with lightsabers. It's so good. I don't know why she's moving around like she's in slow motion or she's like 80 years old. Maybe she spent too much time in space so her body needs to reacclimate to Earth's gravity. Couldn't tell ya. But the way she's maneuvering around the stage with the lightsaber, cinema. I don't even know where to begin. So she's being chased around by anchor arm aliens and she's got the Darth Maul lightsaber out, but she didn't even do the bare minimum of like twirling it around or anything. She just holds it static. Like an American Gladiator with the giant Q-tips. I would have at least thought there'd be like some twirling or something there to make it interesting and entertaining, but no, it's just like she's basically T-posing across the stage. So she's running away from like the Power Rangers villains, and then there's like the space ninja on the wire system. Maybe there's like some metaphors and symbolism there that escape me with my tiny little reptile brain here, but I love it at surface level where it's not really a fight. She like runs at him and then he does like a flip over her and then she like, just holds the lightsaber out and he grabs it and he's like, ah, and gets, like, defeated from grabbing it. And then she fucking sends him into the rafters up there. And then she runs back around, like, through the aliens, kind of, like, holding it out like she's jousting. My god, I forgot the showdown with the raid boss there, where they were exchanging blows back and forth. It was like a Dragon Ball Z beam struggle between the two of them there, but luckily Katy Perry squeaked it out, and then she ran through the other aliens. I don't know what it all means. I'll be honest, maybe I'm too stupid to pick up on what the actual messaging here is of the choreography, or I guess maybe lack thereof choreography on her part. Maybe she just didn't feel like doing a whole lot there, but it is visually a masterpiece, because that shit goes crazy. At the very least, it looked like a lot of fun. No doubt about that. I also saw some of the other, like, videos and pictures from the event. The whole fucking thing looks out of this world. I think the 11 minutes she spent up in space must have, like, rewired her neurons or something, because she is on some other shit right now, and I love it. Like, some of the other pictures I saw, she was riding in on, like, I don't know, like a 3D printed Pokemon thing. I don't even know what the fuck it is. It looked like something I would have made in Maya or Blender back when I was a digital art student in college before I switched to exercise physiology. And she's like riding it around briefly, and then there's like another one where she's on like the wire system and she like goes out and then like comes back in. It's I want to go to a Katy Perry concert now. It was just watching the highlights of it has been an experience. I can only imagine being there for it. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a little bit. That's it. So yeah. Yesterday, someone's truck being towed turned into some Grand Theft Auto 6 footage in real life. This gentleman immediately got himself 5 stars after losing his temper with his truck being towed, and it was chaotic. I was gonna wait for him to get caught before talking about this, because I wanted to hear what he had to say about all of this hoopla. Like, I don't know why in my stupid little tiny reptile brain I was under the impression that he'd give some kind of press conference about it. Like, listen, I may have blown a gasket, I was a little off my gourd with this one, and then go into detail about what he thought he would accomplish with this. But obviously, that's not going to happen, and somehow he still hasn't been caught, despite him being captured on 3 separate videos, all of which we're going to go over. We have damn near a 360-degree video that we can put together of this Grand Theft Auto moment. It's fucking incredible here.
Get that fucking truck down! I'm warning you, motherfucker! Get the fuck away from this truck! Get the fuck out of here!
His precious truck has now become his battering ram. It's like the scene out of Fast and Furious 5 with the vault trailing behind Dominic Toretto and Paul Walker. This dude is just annihilating the entire city block with his precious truck that he went to such lengths to try and protect. Now he's just racking up crimes here like he's trying to catch them all like Pokemon. So he is hitting every single parked car in the vicinity. His truck has definitely seen better days. He is destroying not only his property, but everyone's property around there. It kind of reminds me of Killdozer from many years ago, where that guy got really upset and then decided to modify a bulldozer, basically turning it into a fucking Gundam. He put like giant cement walls on it, turned it into an armored vehicle, and just went on a rampage causing carnage. This guy's kind of doing the same thing here. He's like a diet inbred Killdozer here with the tow truck. He just potato sacked his own truck here. It's like Super Mario 64 where you swing Bowser around. He just did that with his truck. It unhooked and just flew right off, and then the guy just continues to make a getaway in the tow truck. So fundamentally what happened is, his truck was being towed. He then steals the tow truck to try and keep his truck. He loses his truck in the process and totals it as well, and then just steals the tow truck. And that's the entire series of events. He's now committed multiple crimes. What a fucking lunatic. Also, the sound that it made when the truck fell off, it was like a bomb going off in there. Speaking of a bomb going off, if you want a flavor bomb in your mouth, get some goof juice. Gamersupps.gg/moist. There's a special going on right now. If you use code MOIST, you get free shipping on any order anywhere in the world.
You can't put your hand on that man! I opened this window! I said, oh my God! Yo!
Oh, that dude is nuts.
Yo! Bro! Oh my God! Oh my God! Yo! What the fuck? Yo!
Here's a different vantage point here. So now we're looking down on the action here. We got the top-down camera from the Jumbotron. So you can see this from an eagle eye perspective. When you see it from up here, you can see that he hits every single car down that line. So since the door's hanging off, it's hitting every single mirror. And in the next video, you're gonna see he basically erases every mirror. It goes through that like a sports player coming out of the tunnel giving fans high fives on the way through. That is his car door to every mirror there, just slapping them. It's impressive how much damage he was able to cause in such a short period of time. Now, I get being upset about having your car towed. Last time I got towed, it was a mess. It was an absolute mess. And it ended up with me at the tow truck company looking like a bumbling fucking moron, where I was so all over the place from the headache of trying to figure out which of the 50 different tow truck companies towed my vehicle, because there was no indication on which one it could have been. So it was a big game of cat and mouse. It was frustrating. I get there and I asked him if they have my keys, and the guy looked at me like I was some kind of extraterrestrial. He said, "What do you mean, do we have your keys? No, you should have your keys. Like, we didn't drive your car away, dummy. You should still have those. We towed it." And it didn't register with me. I was like, "What do you mean you don't have my keys? Who took my keys then?" Like, I couldn't process it. So eventually I pieced it together. And then when I was signing the paperwork, he needed the license. And when I pulled the license out of my wallet, I had lost control of it, and I ended up flicking it like Gambit, flicking one of his cards as a weapon at the guy. So I ended up like throwing my license at this dude. He probably took it as extremely disrespectful, but it was an accident. It's not like I was mad at them. They're just doing their job. It was just like a really frustrating series of events, and I have no doubt that guy probably thought I was drunk driving that car out of there. But yeah, the point I'm making is I would rather go through that experience 1,000 times before I would ever think to do what this absolute fucking imbecile did here.
Get the fuck out of it! Get down, you motherfucker! Put the truck down! Put the truck down!
We get such a clear look at Skinny Goldberg here. So he's rolling up, bald as shit, angry as shit, and he starts to tussle with the guy towing his truck. Apparently what was happening before this is he was actually in the truck while it was being towed, and he started spinning his tires on it. So he was immediately escalating everything here, and then it culminates to him obviously stealing the tow truck. It was a bad day to be a side mirror. That was an apocalypse for side mirrors. There was only one survivor that I could count before he like whipped it into the other vehicles there. And then of course he just tosses it to the side right there, having it fall over. And he doesn't stop or anything. He just keeps going. I wonder if he even knew that he had lost his truck back there. He was probably so angry and fuming that he didn't even register that he just left his truck behind. The whole reason for his crime spree. What's baffling to me is this guy has not been arrested yet. So, according to NYPD, there have been no developments since the incident, but they did say that the fleeing maniac hit a car that had someone in it, and that person ended up at a medical center. like, they know who this guy is. The failure to make an arrest is stunning. This is coming from the article, and I agree with whoever's writing the article here that it is stunning he's not arrested for this. The truck that was being towed has a long record of violations, 13 school zone speed camera violations, as well as multiple parking tickets, and owes $1,313 in fines, and subject to towing because it had more than 350 in unpaid tickets. I just don't understand why they're not doing anything about this. He is a menace, and they know exactly who he is, and they're not doing anything. Why? But yeah, I just want to talk about this a little bit. That's it. See ya. Yeah, the new Dwayne Wade statue I want to talk about. Many of you know this. Dwayne Wade is one of my favorite basketball players of all time. Allen Iverson is my #1, but Dwayne Wade is in my top 5. And they revealed a statue today, which I'll show you the hype reveal of that. And it's already being compared to one of the great statues, up there with some of Michelangelo's best work. It was the Cristiano Ronaldo statue. It might even be the same sculptor. So this one was iconic for how dog shit it was. Here, I'll pull it over. So that was the Ronaldo statue that, when it was revealed, obviously went viral because of its goofy face. Yeah! Woo! Oh, God. It must be so hard for Dwayne Wade to sit there and just be like, oh, I can't show that this bothers me how bad it is. Like, everything's good except the face. I don't know what happened here. The face looks like it's still loading. Like in a cutscene. Like, the textures aren't there yet, so it's just kind of blocked out. Like, they aged him by like 50 years. I feel like there's just pain behind those eyes right now. He's just holding it in the best he can to stay professional. It's such a super meaningful and special gesture to have a fucking statue made after you. Only for them to butcher your face like that. Like, it looks like he's melting. Not as bad as the Ronaldo face. The Ronaldo face is still worse. Like I said, I think this is almost on par. The Ronaldo face is iconic in how shitty it is. This one is just... it's not even the same guy. Ronaldo looks like if I did the statue, like the portrait of my father. There's also this angle too, which is pretty cool. Woohoo! Yeah! He looks like he's in pain. Like he's about to transform or something. Looks like they did a 2K face scan of him. Looks like he was frozen in carbonite like Han Solo. Isn't the face like the most important part? Oh, absolutely is, yeah. I'm just saying, like, it's not like the whole thing is trash. It's not like this was some amateur that did this. It was just whoever did this, I don't think had ever seen Dwayne Wade in their life. Like, maybe they played NBA 2K14 or something, and they just looked at the graphics and said, oh, so that's what Dwayne Wade looks like. Amrani, his Kobe statue is pretty trash also. Oh, well, it's not as bad, but that's not good. Is there no one else that makes big fucking statues anymore? He's just not really able to do faces very well. Like, this statue looks exhausted. This looks like the statue just played fucking 82 games. Bro, malnourished. That's true, they did make him look a little malnourished. I'm guessing there's just not a lot of people that do statues like this. He's got the market cornered. Have you seen the David Beckham one? No, how many... goddamn, how many, like, bronze statues have they made? Let's see. Is it the same studio? This is fucking awesome. What? This can't be real. This has to be edited. No way, right? No way, right? That's some Toe Jam and Earl shit right there. This was a prank James Corden did? This or this? Because these are two different ones. This one definitely has to be a prank. And I can't believe I just giggled at something James Corden might have had a hand in doing. Blast! The most infamous statue, Cristiano Ronaldo, right? Yeah, that's still the most infamous for sure. By far. And that one's not a prank. At least I don't think so. It's been a while now. There's no way the Ronaldo one was a prank, right? I'm pretty sure, because they like took that down and redid it. Yeah. There's even an article about it. The Ronaldo statue sculptor Emmanuel Santos takes another shot. Yeah, so that was real. That one wasn't a prank. Defending his work, he said, "I'm not what the media made me look like." I mean, if you don't know Ronaldo and they just tell you, hey, can you make a statue, and you look up like one Google image, you're gonna get a result like this. I mean, I'd have the same problem. Statue of Walter Johnson. In 2009, a bronze statue of Walter Johnson created by Omri Amrani was installed outside Nationals Park in Washington, D.C. Where's a picture? Holy. What is that? For a second here, I thought it was that pitch that hit a bird and blew it to pieces, but that wasn't Walter Johnson that threw that pitch. That was Randy Johnson, I think. Right? Is that what... Is this the bird getting obliterated by the pitch? No, it can't. Oh, I see. It's his arm moving through a pitch. I see. Now, from this angle, now it all makes sense. And then his leg is being deatomized. I guess it was, like, really hot, so it started to... I don't know, get, like, trapped to the floor somehow. It's kind of cool. I mean, it's pretty abstract. I definitely thought that was a little wiener there in this in this image. I don't know what that is. I think they just probably would have been better off not getting super wacky with it, with the after image of his arm. I also just now noticed his eyes. He looks so sad. He looks really sad. He didn't want to throw that pitch. This one's cool. Wait, no, this one's not bad at all. This one's like really pretty badass, actually. Look at this. This is probably the best one we've seen so far. That looks like a Magic the Gathering card. I also don't know who Andy Murray is. This one does look bad, though. I'm assuming the real Andy Murray is standing next to it in this picture. They made him look like one of the Queen's Guard from, like, the medieval times. He looks like Bilbo Baggins in leather armor. Who made this one? If this one turns out to be Amray again, I'm gonna fucking squeal. Why did they like 3x the size of his head? Artistic effect, I don't really know. They 3x'd everything on him. They set it to Wumbo. Like, look at his arms. It really does look like he's wearing samurai armor. Check out the first Witcher statue CD Projekt Red commissioned and did not use because it was so bad. Statue of Geralt commissioned by CD Projekt Red in 06. Holy. That's definitely a cursed item right there. That's some Annabelle shit. Looks like Tommy Wiseau. Kinda. A little bit. Kate Moss and Brittany are so bad. I'll check it out. Supermodel... What the fuck am I even looking at? The Golden Kate Moss statue. This looks like something you'd find in an Egyptian tomb. What the fuck is this? Cool. Very awesome statue. I don't get it. Why is she a pretzel in that statue? Maybe a contortionist or something? I don't think this is real. This, I can't tell. I don't even think I can pull it up on stream. She's got her boobies out. Why would that be the Britney Spears statue? That makes no sense. Today while I was streaming, there were a lot of people in chat trying to alert me to the danger of SESAC. It was like getting an Amber Alert on my phone, but in chat about something called SESAC. I don't know what that is. With the way chat was talking about it, I was under the impression it was like Umbrella Corp. They're talking about how it's ruining YouTube right now, and there's a lot of videos that are getting blocked out the wazoo. So when stream finished, I decided to take a peek, see what this SAC was really all about. And yeah, turns out it's pretty bad. This shit's so hot it's leaving the toilet bowl steaming right now. So there are tons of songs from some of the biggest artists of all time that have been pulled from YouTube, but only in America. The videos haven't been removed per se, they are blocked, and Americans can't access them. Why is that, you might be asking? Do they hate us for our freedom, our patriotism, and our cheeseburgers? Yes, that's exactly why. It's not just music. Oh man, choking on that lack of American spirit here. What I wanted to mention is that it's not just like the music videos that have been taken down or like official streams of the songs. Any content that used music that falls under SESAC's blanket has been blocked as well. So if your favorite YouTuber used a snippet of Smells Like Teen Spirit in a shitpost, that puppy's in the shadow realm right now. It's in timeout. SESAC stands for the Society of European Stage Authors and Composers, and it's been around since 1930, so almost 100 years now, a century. But it's not as old as a goddamn classic American invention, the peanut butter and jelly sandwich. 1901 in Boston, baby. You Europeans can have your sack, I'll have my snack with the peanut butter and jelly, you know what I'm saying? It's 6 a.m. I'm fucking loopy. I don't even know why I'm mentioning that. Anyway, though, SESAC, it has, licenses for public performances of more than 1.5 million songs. So obviously, it is a lot that it encompasses, which is why so many people have noticed a ton of videos are blocked now. Now, the second paragraph is really interesting. It mentions that it's smaller than BMI and ASCAP, but in 2017 was acquired by Blackstone. Blackstone is a name I can't stop fucking seeing over the last 10 years. Like, I remember when I was a kid, I'd hear about it occasionally, but in the last 10 years, it feels like everything is owned by Blackstone. Like, it's like there's so many conspiracies around it too, but like I actually see that everywhere. And I mean like everything. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that my dogs were bred by Blackstone, and all of Tampa's water supply is owned by Blackstone. Oh, wait, or... which one's the massive one? Is it Blackstone or BlackRock? Those are two separate ones, aren't they? I'm sitting here reflecting and I can't remember which is the big boy. I think they're both big boys. You know, how about this? All-encompassing black geode companies. Because I know Blackstone is huge, but I think BlackRock is the bigger one that I see more in headlines. Regardless, those two companies are massive and it seems like they got their fingers in every pie on the planet. And I just thought that was interesting that it was mentioned here. That's all. That's it. Anyway, though, right now the music has been blocked because a deal has not gone through with SESAC and YouTube. Thus, they are now blocking tons and tons of tracks for Americans, but not all of them. Not every single song that SESAC license is removed at the moment or blocked, but a sizable chunk are that many people have taken notice of. The biggest thing I see people noticing isn't even like the music video side of things, it's just like this wide net that's been cast on so many random videos from so many channels that are now just all of a sudden blocked, and SESAC is to blame for it. SESAC hasn't responded publicly, but YouTube has. They said, "We have held good faith negotiations with SESAC to renew our existing deal. Unfortunately, despite our best efforts, we were unable to reach an equitable agreement before its expiration. We take copyright very seriously, and as a result, content represented by SESAC is no longer available on YouTube in the US. We are in active conversation with SESAC and are hoping to reach a new deal as soon as possible." And this article speculates that this could be a negotiating tactic by YouTube because they say the previous deal actually does not expire until next week. Definitely does sound like a galaxy brain scheme here from YouTube to try and get a better deal out of it, like, oh, alright, if you don't agree to our terms, I guess we're just gonna have to block all of these songs in the US, which is a huge market that you're gonna be missing out on. What a shame. Hoping that they can get a better deal with SESAC here. So, I'm pretty sure they will reach some kind of deal. I highly doubt SESAC or YouTube is happy that so many songs are just going to be blocked in the US now. That's bad for YouTube and bad for SESAC. Probably worse for SESAC than it is for YouTube, so that's probably why they're playing hardball. But it's also just really bad for everyone that uses YouTube. It's bad for just the normal people that use the platform. There are so many songs that are affected, and like even if you just use a little bit of the songs in content from like 5 or 6 years ago, even 10 years ago, whatever, your video's blocked for it, and you can't like fix that. I mean, I guess you could like go through and erase the song using YouTube's like editor tool if you wanted to do that, but I imagine a lot of people probably won't want to do that. It is a headache, and for a lot of videos, like if it's like some kind of like meme post or something, it probably ruins the whole thing. There's also just a ton of people that use YouTube for music, like me, and this wipes out a sizable chunk of a lot of people's playlist, including mine. Like, it is an incredible amount of artists that are now blocked in the US. A ton. Hopefully they'll reach a new agreement soon to fix this mess, and hopefully this explains why so many of you are probably seeing that SESAC notice when you're trying to listen to music, or if one of your creators' favorite videos is down and SESAC pops up in there. This is why. The deal expired, hasn't been renewed yet, so the music is not accessible in America. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya.